part of the world. I know that I have followers all over the world, so hope that you're doing well. Hope that you and your family are good and safe. How are you? This is where we all come together as data professionals and we talk business. We talk about what's going on in the world. We talk, well, at least in the world of data. So this is a open forum where you can come in and you can talk about anything you'd like. What's troubling you? What's got you excited? What's got you happy? What's got you sad? What are you reading? What are you coding? All of that is valid conversation. So I hope that you'll join me in our discussion and just see where we end up with it. I have no agenda. I have no idea what we're going to end up talking about. That's part of the fun for all of us. So let me know that you're out there. Let me know what you'd like to talk about. Let me know what's on your mind. How are you improving yourself? What are you doing today to help you along in data science? That's really all we can do, right? Just take small steps, and that's why I provide this format, this forum, for us to be able to get together and talk about what we're doing and see if you can get some help, get some ideas, give help. It's intended to be an open forum where we can talk about anything, right? So what's on your mind? What are you reading? What are you coding? You are working on something, aren't you? Because if you're not, then how are you expecting to grow? How are you expecting to get better? Right? You can't get better at data science by not doing it. So what are you doing to help yourself? I have been working quite a bit this week. I had some client calls yesterday. Was really excited about helping a couple of clients move forward, really developing their skills. So it's been a good week for me, and I'm going to continue that today because I actually blocked out my day today. I'm going to go. I have a friend coming into town, so we're going to go. We're going to hang out. We're going to have lunch together. We're going to have some drinks together, and just see where the day goes. I'm giving myself the day off. My boss gave me the day off, so I'm going to go hang out with a friend, see what they're up to. But what are you doing today to help you with your data science? That's what I'd like to know. That's the question in front of you. Because if you don't have something that you're working on, some project, idea, something, I don't know how you're expecting to advance, right? So what are you doing today to help move you along? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what's on your mind. Yeah, just let me know what you're up to. I'm just trying to think of all the different things that I'm doing just to kind of give you guys examples also. Earlier this week, we did talk about Midjourney and some of those generation tools. I'm still working on some of those. I'm actually getting a fairly positive response to some of the Midjourney stuff that I've created. Okay, in the chat, we have Kartik. Kartik says, hey, Dennis. Hey, Kartik, it's been a while. I know it's not your first time, but I also can't remember the last time you were in the chat. Welcome. Hope you're well. Let me know what you're up to or what you have been up to. Glad to see you back. Anybody can come back. So thank you for being here. Is it Abdelez? Abdelez, welcome from Sudan. Nice to see you. So glad that you're here. Sudan is. Are you guys cooled down yet, or is it still hot out there? I mean, I know Sudan is pretty close to the equator, so let me know how you're doing out there. Abdelzaz. Kartik says this is my first time on live. Is that right, Kartik? Gosh, I could have sworn that you've been on live before. Well, my mistake. I apologize. But glad you're here. Both you and Abdelzaz are new followers, so thank you so much for being here. So yeah, guys, this is the format where we talk about anything you'd like relating to data science. So let me know what's on your mind. What projects are you working on? What are you reading? What AI tools are you trying out? What AI tools have delivered? What AI tools haven't delivered? A lot of tools just don't really do that well, right? So let me know what you're working on. What's got you excited? Let me know, guys. So like I said, for me, I've been working on some Midjourney. I've been working with some client projects, been helping people giving people critiques on their resumes, on their projects, on their code, on their results. Had a really, really strong discussion with one of my clients yesterday on some of the progress that they're making. So really happy with all of those results. So Kartik shares, I'm a student from India pursuing degree in electronics. Nice, very cool. You know, I actually did some work in electronics when I was in high school. I went to a technical high school. And man, that is hard. That is hard. So Kartik, good for you. That is a hard field to be studying. Kartik says, but I'm interested in pursuing data science in the future. Why is that, Kartik? Because I assume you mean electronics engineering is what you're in. And that's a big field. And my understanding is that there's still a lot of demand in that field. So do you not like it? Would you rather just do data science? And if so, why? I want to know why. But electronics engineering is still a pretty vibrant field as far as I know. So let me know, Kartik. I'd be curious to know why you're looking to make the change. But yeah, that's supposed to be a really good field still. So I'm interested in why you want to do that. Kartik says, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, electronics engineering is not just anybody can get a degree in that. You have to be a pretty smart person to get a degree in that. So yeah, Kartik, I mean, I'm sure there'd be plenty of jobs for you. Kartik says, but I have always been interested in software. Okay, but data science is not software alone, right? I mean, for data science, software and coding or whatever, it's really just a tool. It's not the core of data science, right? So let me know how you feel about that, Kartik, but data science isn't always about the software side, right? I mean, if you really like software in the sense that you like programming, then you should look at traditional DevOps or developer roles. There may not be as much coding as you think there is in data science. So I don't know, maybe you mean other things by software, right? But data science is much more related to algorithms and business processes than it is to coding. But yeah, I mean, let me know what year you're also studying, right? I mean, are you early in your program, late in your program? Because you got to do something with an electronics engineering degree. You'd be missing on a tremendous opportunity, at least in my view. You know, like I said, I know enough about it to know that it's a tough field. Not just anybody gets a degree in that. Kartik says, I'm in my third year, actually. Okay, so you're fairly far along there, right? I mean, you didn't start yesterday. We'll graduate in 2 years. Okay. All right, well, I mean, do you want to change degrees, or are you going to still stay on that path? Because if you still have 2 years left, then I'm guessing there's still a window for you to change degrees, right? Kartik says, yes, I am. Oh, okay, so you do want to change degrees. Okay, well, make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Okay, actually not interested in changing it. Okay, you were referring to, yes, you are on the smart person side. Okay, I get it. Okay, so you're not going to change degrees, but you're going to study data science on your own? That's not a terrible plan. I can be on board with that. You have to choose the right things to focus on. And you have to make sure you're going to develop a good portfolio by the time you graduate. But I could be on board with that. You know, finish out your electronics engineering degree while also studying data science. That's possible. That's a reasonable path to pursue. Karthik says, but I want to transition into not necessarily sure about data science. I'm extremely confused, but I'm exploring. Okay. So Karthik, are you exploring traditional developer roles? Because you said you like the thought of working in software. And I get it, because there's not a lot of software work in electronics engineering, right? So Karthik says, I have to do my own research though. Well, Karthik, I think the answer lies within, right? It sounds to me like the confusion is within you on what you really want to do in the future. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it sounds like you need to think about what it is that you really want to dedicate yourself to. Right? Because you said that you want to get away from electronics and more into software, which I get, right? Electronics engineering is not a lot of software. They have their own specialized software in that world, but that's all you'll use, right? So, yeah, if you want to work more on the software side and deploy products and code more and understand OOP and all that good stuff, that's great, but that's not data science, right? It's a it's a small portion of data science, but that's not data science. So you'd have to decide, Kartik, what is it about? Well, one, what is it about electronics that it's not giving you? And two, what is it that you really want to be doing? Because also, maybe by software, what you really mean is websites, like web development, right? Because most apps increasingly are web apps or mobile apps, right? I mean, traditional desktop apps are still developed, but they're not nearly as popular as they used to be. So when you say software, maybe you mean I just want to do a lot of web apps, right? Nothing wrong with that, but it's possible that that's what you really mean. Could you talk a bit about feature engineering and data science? Feature engineering. Okay, sure. So feature engineering, why do you need it? Why does feature engineering even exist in data science, right? That's the first thing that somebody might ask, right? So what I would tell you is that an algorithm is a process that you develop to figure out what features are important in an algorithm or in a problem you're trying to solve, and then what weight you want to assign to that feature. Right? At core, that's all data science is. What is the weight? What is the feature that you're looking at? And what is the weight that you want to assign to this feature? You typically combine those, you typically multiply them together, and you get some sort of a value that affects your end result, right? Okay, so if your end result is a combination of those features and weights, does your probability of finding a good algorithm increase or decrease with the number of features that you're trying? Let me know in the chat. If I just told you that everything in data science in an algorithm is a feature and what weight you want to assign to it, are you better off having a small number of features to experiment with or a large number of features to experiment with? What do you guys think that answer is? Let me know in the chat. Do you want to have a few features or do you want to have a lot of features? Kartik says small number. Why, Kartik? Why do you say that? Because we know that when we have these features, we have to experiment on which combination we want or we need, right? Or that have a material effect on the result, right? Abdelzaz also says small number. No, guys, why would you say that? Both of you are wrong on that. If we have features and weights, and your algorithm is a combination of which features and weights would do best, and that's the experimentation process of data science, you want to start off with the largest set of features to find that right combination. You want the largest possible. When somebody approaches me with a new problem, I don't want 10 columns, I want 500 columns. Right? Because if I have 500 columns, my probability of finding a good algorithm, an effective algorithm, has gone up, not down. Right? Because how many permutations can you get from 10 columns versus how many permutations can you get from 500 columns? Right? I mean, that's a simple math question, right? It's a lot, right? It's a big difference. So yeah. So no, guys, I would encourage both of you to go back and look at the basics of data science. You want as many potential features as possible. And that I was using as an example to answer the question, what is feature engineering? That is feature engineering. To help you go from 10 columns to 500 columns. That's the whole point of feature engineering, right? That's why that whole process exists. Because you want to enrich your data. You want to bring in additional data sets. You want to find other permutations of your data, of existing data. Those are all very positive things when it comes to how do I increase my probability of finding an answer, right? Yeah, so Kartik and Abdulaziz, love you guys, but both of you had the wrong answer on that. And that's just one of the basics of data science. Because if you understand the experimentation side of data science and why that's important and how you do that, then the answer to my previous question is obvious. I want to have a lot of features because that increases the number of experiments that I can run, which increases the probability of me finding a valid algorithm, a valid answer. So yeah. So good question, guys. So I'm glad we were able to have that discussion. This feels like a natural transition point. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you want, follow me over to Instagram. I'm going to be over on Instagram because I do stream on 2 platforms every day. But as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.